Okay, welcome back to Skyrim. It's been a little bit longer than I would have liked, but I have returned, and we are ready to do the next episode. I do apologise for it having taken a while. It wasn't my intention, but real life got in the way. Um, I don't try not to bore you with the details of my life, but since this is somewhat relevant, I will mention it. As you may recall, I took a couple of months off from recording in order to finish up my thesis. My thesis was marked, it was returned. I got a score that I'm very happy with, a passing grade. I would have liked to have got a first, but I did go over my word limit a little bit. Necessary evil, as far as I was concerned. I felt going over the word limit was required to get the points, and it was a better trade-off in terms of getting points than staying under the word limit and having to live with more limited explanation of my research. But yeah, such is. And then I had to travel there because I do not live in the same city where I study. In fact, I don't even live in the same part of the country, so that's a long trip in and of itself. And that meant I had to arrange transport, I had to arrange somewhere to stay, had to attend the actual ceremony itself. Afterwards, had to go to the after graduation celebrations, of course, and so on and so forth. But I do have some free time now, so I am back to recording. I have taken the EMB off, is because I think the EMB was interfering with the recording in some ways. I'm not entirely sure, and it doesn't seem to be 100% of the time it does it, but it does seem to be having an effect. So, as sad as it is, I've had to say goodbye to Zona's performance EMB. I do like it very much still, and I do still recommend it if you want a low impact EMB. But yeah, it just wasn't working out as well as I would have liked. And so today we're going to kill some vampires, or we're going to try to, at the very least. Right. We're going to see how this goes, and if it's too painful, we will give up and move on. I will say I have recorded or tried to record this episode a couple of times before, but with the issues that I've had, I've obviously gone back to re-record it. So I do sort of know what awaits me in here, and it could be quite painful. We shall see. All depends on how things turn out. Oh. Oh shit. It's not worked out as planned. I don't think. Not unless I can kill her and get away. Which I might be able to do. Oh no.
No one crosses me!
No, this isn't going to work. I can tell you that right now. Yeah. I was hoping that the lesser vampire would be in here along with... Okay. Alright, we're not that hurt, we just lost some magicka. Maybe they'll follow me outside, in which case they'll burn. This is a little difficult because if it had been any other way that they'd been configured in there, it wouldn't be an issue. Let's see, if I wait a bit... Will they go back to their usual places? Because I can fight... I know this from doing it before. I can fight a Master Vampire one-on-one. I can't fight both a Master Vampire and... Okay, we're not badly hurt. We do need to... That's it, suck my life power. That's fine. Damn it, she got rid of my weapon. Oh shit, run. Run. Okay. And I know this is cheesy, but in theory they could follow me. So in theory it's not as cheesy as it should be. Also, when I previously did this, that spellcaster vampire was with skeletons. She was not hanging around with the master vampire. It's making it more difficult than it needs to be. Because last time I actually did this fairly easily. It wasn't a complete cakewalk. I mean, he is a master vampire. But at the same time, I was able to do it with only one death. Which is, I think, pretty good going, all things considered. So let's save this again. So the only reason I'm persisting with this is because I did it before. And I want to keep things as sort of standard as they should be. If I've done something before, even if I haven't been able to record it, I want to be able to do it again. So let's have one of these slightly substandard potions. We'll just let our magicka regen fully, and then we're going to head back in. Because I was quite surprised, I must say, and quite pleased with myself that I managed to kill a master vampire. Because at level 18, that's no small achievement, in my opinion. So let's try this again. I'm going to save it here with a new save again. I'm going to go like this. Why isn't my spell casting? It took the magicka and it didn't cast the spell. I don't like that. Okay, that worked. Now we need magicka, and lots of it. We need spell flux. Why isn't our... There he is. Is that your best? Okay, it wasn't quite that easy the previous time, but it was still somewhat easy because he crosses this, he explodes this. Now you might be saying, well, hang on a minute, wasn't he draining you there? Why weren't you taking damage? Well, a very simple reason for that. I'm wearing the Galdor amulet, and as you can maybe read here, it increases your health by 50 points and renders you immune to almost all magical draining effects. As it so happens, that includes the vampire drain effect. So, as I say, the only reason I'm persisting with this is because the previous time I did it easier than that. Although he did chase me around a little bit more, so I sort of had to backpedal whilst throwing spells at him. But it worked. And I got some... The thing about killing vampires is, even if they don't have the ebony armor, like this one does not, they still have some really good loot. And in here, in particular, there's two excellent pieces of hand-placed loot. So these are guaranteed. Every single time you play, there will be these two things in here. There will be an ebony scimitar. And let me just show you that. As you can see, very, very powerful. As you would expect, it's the second most powerful tier of weapon in the game. Second, third, I suppose, technically. But then, anyway, there is this. And I forgot all about these master robes until I did this the first time. We're going to come back in here. I just want to go fetch my my sword that I was disarmed from. Those two will always be in here when you play Requiem. Where'd my sword go? I was fighting here. There it is. You disarmed me, which was not cool. And the master robes are a unique set in Requiem, which means there is only one set in the whole game. So this is the only place in all of Requiem that you will be able to find those robes. There's one for each school of magic. Obviously enchanting doesn't have one. But for each spellcasting school, so Conjuration, Destruction, Restoration, Alteration. For each one of those, there is a master robe somewhere in Skyrim. And we have one of them. Alright, let's see what we can disenchant. It's a version. Okay. Okay then. So I forgot completely about that until, of course, this this played through the first time, and I was like, wow. 'Cause obviously that's fairly important for our character. I'll just show you the statistics on that in case you are not aware of them. 20% less magicka cost. Magicka regenerates 300% faster. So that's a pretty significant bonus there. Of course, we were doing this for a quest for the college. So let's see, we need that. Yes. Need that. I'll take that. And okay. I think that's everything of major value in here. So we will make our way. As I say, the only reason I persisted with that was because I knew that I'd be able to defeat this bastard. Let's just take his helmet off and see how he looks. Is he? I think he's Outma. Which would explain why he went down so easily if he did, because his own lack of resistance to fire would stack with the vampiric lack of resistance to fire, and it would make him pretty vulnerable. Okay. Static dome. Ah, interesting. Take it. Is there anything else in here? I don't think so. Just some bone meal, which we will take. Did we loot the bandit? I don't think we did. So as you can see, killing vampires is very, very much worth your time. Take that cooked beef. Probably shouldn't eat things from inside a vampire's lair, but well, we did. We did it, and we'll just have to live with that knowledge. Let's turn candlelight off. There we go. And put that back on. Alright, I really hope this records this time, because I've had enough of doing that particular section, that particular part of the game. I would rather get on and do other things. I'd rather not have to do this walk back to Whiterun either. So, vampires. They come in two different basic types. You have lightly armoured, mildly evil spellcasters, like the first vampire we were fighting in there. They can be dangerous because, of course, they are mages, and even though they usually only have up to... what tier is this? Or is this advanced? Yeah, well, they usually only have advanced spells. They're obviously still pretty good with them.
Mike does not understand so impressive about shouting. Mike can shout whenever he wants. Mike saw a mud crab the other day. Horrible creatures. Mike loves the people of Skyrim. Many interesting things they say to each other. Mike is tired now. Go bother somebody else.
I think they said more interesting stuff to each other in Oblivion. Not that I've played a whole lot of Oblivion, but from what I've seen, the the sort of radiant conversation system is a little bit weird. Yes, so vampires. So that's your first type. Now they're dangerous, but they're no more dangerous than any other type of sort of mid to low level mage. So if you can close the gap with them without getting damaged, you can then chop them up into little tiny pieces, and it's not going to be much of an issue. Then you have the other type of vampire, the boss level vampires or master vampires. These are an entirely different breed of difficulty. they will be wearing heavy armor. It will either be steel plate or it will be ebony. The most commonly known as ebony vampires by those who play Requiem. They are essentially heavily armored battle mages, and you can see why that would be difficult, especially when they are in ebony. The ebony is also usually enchanted to give them some fire damage resistance. Who's this? Looks like a college wizard, or is it Faldrus again? It's Faldrus again. He's looking for that Shrine of Azura. He's really lost.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the Shrine of Azura.
I know. I know. Just in completely the wrong place for it. I'm sure we saw him up towards Windhelm. Anyway. Heavily armoured battle mages. They will usually cast the Frost Aura spell. They can usually use ice, icy shards from range, and then when they get close, they will use. That one didn't have a very powerful weapon, but they can have very powerful weapons up to ebony. And of course, they will have the appropriate perks for using those weapons. Ebony maces in particular are very nasty. They will also sometimes poison their weapons. So if you do not have poison immunity or some type of poison resistance, that can often make your life fairly miserable. There are a few different strategies for killing them. Obviously the first and best choice is restoration magic. If you're going for efficiency, restoration magic is the way to go. In particular, I think you would need sophisticated restoration. So that would be restoration 50. You would then also want mysticism and quite possibly benefactor's insight as well to be able to dual cast. If you can dual cast the area of effect sun damage spells against vampires, you will do a lot of damage to them. A lot. So that's probably the most sort of efficient way of doing it, but obviously you need to be spec'd into restoration and have it at a fairly high level. The next easiest way to kill them, ironically, given how many people say that playing as a this type of character is difficult at high levels in Requiem, playing as a rogue, thief, assassin type character, Nightblade, is very effective against vampires, because even though vampires are undead for the purposes of spells that will affect them and things, they are not considered undead in terms of resistances, in particular to sneak damage and to missiles. Therefore, if you're very good, you have a very powerful crossbow, from range you can hit them in stealth, do a heck of a lot of damage, or if you've got a very good melee weapon and you have the stealth perks to give you bonus sneak damage, you can always just sneak up behind them while invisible and backstab them.
I have traveled far across Tamriel to serve you. Take a look.
So that's another very viable strategy, and it does work. I've tried it myself. I've verified that this is the case. Yeah, we'll sell that as well. Stream Sure Grip. Yep. I'm going to keep hold of that for now. You can have that though. Keep hold of those as well. Have the spell tome. I think that's everything. Oh, conjure familiar. We don't want that. Yeah, we don't want the healing poultice either.
May your road lead you to hands.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Dawnbreaker, which admittedly is not easy to get even for a high-level Nightblade or rogue character, but if you have Dawnbreaker and you have 75 in stealth, let me just show you. If you have the major perks on the right-hand side of the tree, so Death Strike, Anatomical Law, and Advanced Anatomical Law, and you presumably have Muffled Movement and the two basic perks here. Then use an Invisibility Potion, Scroll, or Spell. Then all you have to do is get behind the vampire and hit it really hard, and it will die. Mehrunes Razor is another possible weapon. But yeah, either one will do sterling work against a master vampire. Fire magic is always a good one because they do have weakened resistance to fire magic. You can always use conjuration to summon up powerful tanking summons for you. So like a ghostly troll, for example, would be an excellent summon because it does regenerate damage. But that would be the sort of the main two sort of, if for maximum sort of efficiency at killing vampires, if that's what you want to be really good at, those are the two ways I would recommend it. And it works even with an untempered version of Dawnbreaker, because I did it recently with a character who didn't have a tempered version of Dawnbreaker. And yeah, it was pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed. I'm not often impressed. Let's just see. Let's put that away. Keep those. We'll make some potions up, and then we'll go betray Sadia, which is what we're all gonna do all along. Yeah, I mean, our character should be fairly good at killing vampires later on because fire magic and being Dunmer, we can take a lot more damage than other people. But just generally speaking, I would say for maximum effectiveness, that would be the way to go. Okay. So we're going to betray Sadia, and then we'll finish this episode, and hopefully all will be good. Just a quick note as well on Vampire Dust. Vampire Dust, don't eat it if you're a fairly low level character. It will probably kill you. Once you have above, I want to say 300 health, but it may be 250, I'm not sure. But once you have above a certain amount of health, you can take it without it being deadly, although it still may not be great for you. But yeah. Very useful in alchemy for invisibility and vitality potions.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything.
But
Take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
otherwise, best to steer clear of it. Alright, Sadia.
Any news of the Alik'r?
Yep, there was like 100 of them in that cave, and although I killed a lot of them, I wasn't able to kill all of them, and now they're coming after you.
What? How? I thought they weren't allowed within the city.
Oh, they're like ninjas. Trust me, you do not want to mess with the Alik'r. They will get in, and they will royally screw everything up.
But where will I go? I can't keep running forever.
Okay, we've got a horse. It's going to take you to the City of Blacklight in Morrowind. The Alik'r will stand out like a sore thumb in Morrowind, so it's perfectly safe to go there, and you'll be looked after by people I know.
After all this, I have to pick up and leave again?
That's
If
not
you
very
really
grateful.
think this is the only way, I trust you. Let's not waste any time.
I am completely trustworthy. Completely trustworthy I am.
Sir, and spare me a few seconds.
Oh, I should put on the Master Robe so you can have a look at them in all of their glory. Pretty fancy. Pretty fancy indeed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, because on the one hand they are quite powerful, but on the other hand we did have to fight someone quite powerful for them. And I did win in a legitimate way, more or less, apart from the running in and out of the cave, but the first time I didn't do that. First time around it was completely legit, 100%. So I have earned them, I feel. I'm not sure where all of the others are, but I will look that up for you, and I will mention it in the next video. I do know one of them is the Master Illusion. Robes are found during Vermina's quest, the Daedric quest in Dawnstar. So there is that. The others I'm not 100% on, especially the alteration one. I'd have to look that up, but I would say I will look that up, and I will let you know where they can be found.
We meet at last, my dear lady.
What is this? What have you done?
Betrayed you for money.
Oh, come now. You didn't really expect to manipulate people forever, did you? Your luck had to run out sometime. Now we'll take our friend here back to Hammerfell, where she will pay the price for her treason.
You're not going to hurt her, though?
Not on the way back. Once she gets there, it's not up to me to decide what's done with her.
Mm-hmm.
And as for you, I owe you a portion of the reward, don't I?
Yep.
Well, here you go. Spend it wisely, and if I may, don't allow yourself to be fooled by a pretty face. You're better than that.
I won't let myself be fooled by a pretty face unless they're offering at least as much as you are.
She sold the city out to the Aldmeri Dominion. Were it not for her betrayal, Tanith could have held its ground in the war.
Mm-hmm.
The other noble houses discovered her betrayal, and she fled. They want her brought back alive. The
Okay.
resistance against the Dominion is alive and well in Hammerfell, and they want justice.
Alright, if you say so.
Until next time.
Until next time. Right, so our plan here is why have you got a bad feeling about waiting? What's the time in the game? Let me just have a drink and then I'll have a look. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but that's what I wanted to do. Okay, it's 11 AM. I'm not diseased or something, am I? No, just exhausted from running. Allegedly. Right. So yeah, we're going to pack up here. And then we're going to head off to High Hrothgar and see the Greybeards. Alright. Since we're going to be travelling in the wilds, I think we should probably have our armour on. That is one thing, it's the trade-off between having some protection, but not as much magicka, or having very little protection and a lot more effective magicka. But anyway, thank you for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. Wish I enjoyed it a little bit more, but having had the issues I've had, it's just been a But hopefully it's all come out okay and you've enjoyed it, and that's what matters. So thank you very much, and I will see you again next episode.